make America free again. This can't just be a slogan. It has to be done with real views that have the underlying belief that no matter what, the government should impose no restriction on you other than what is necessary. And so I understand today that the Republican Party has a belief structure that wants to do everything to tell you what you can do with your life. So I don't think as a Democrat, it's time for me as a candidate to hash out what the other side will do. What I want to talk to you about today is what Joe Biden is doing. Let's start with student loans. You know, I have two children, and I have two children by two separate women or ladies. And I would have thought that the level of income that we experienced, that our financial aid would have been a little bit more than what it actually was. And as a result, both of my children, including myself, have loans in excess of $20,000. And this is okay, because going to school is an investment. It's not an investment that says when you go, you're going to get a guaranteed job at X. That is actually not true at all. But fundamentally, for most states, the actual tuition, that's what you pay to learn, is relatively inexpensive. Usually $3,000 to $7,000 for most schools. It's the private schools that have a higher tuition based on their learning value. But for most state schools, this is not the case. What most students take their money out for is for housing. And so in areas like my family, my children decided that they didn't want to work and go to school. But there are other people within their circle, their friends, that made the decision to in fact work every weekend, every time that they had off. They did everything they could to afford the education they were seeking. And so when Joe Biden says he's going to wipe out all of your student loan debt, still after the Supreme Court has indicated to him that he should not do that, I'm with the Supreme Court. Why? I keep telling folks that I have friends who are carpenters and tile setters and union people. And when you're an apprentice, not only do you have to work Monday through Friday, but then you have to go to school every Saturday for 4 years, and you have to test to a level of competency that shows you know what the heck you're doing. And that's not really the case with college. For the most part, it is easy for most students to bypass the controls relative to testing and true understanding of the education they're being taught. So, this is not bad. This is what people go to school for. You go to school to learn the relationships and how to integrate and the social aspect of it. But it's not for everybody. And it's not right that a group larger than another group who got more benefit to begin with, because nobody actually applies for student loans. There's two categories, and there's subsidized and unsubsidized. One, and I'm not going to get into the details, but one of them, and you can do your research, interest is paid for by the government. So not only does the government give you the loan, they pay for the interest of the loan, so the loan's principal does not grow while you're in school. So the taxpayers are on the hook for the loan, the interest, and the guarantee. And then there's another, I believe, unsubsidized, where the interest accumulates and it just is going on the loan at the end of each year as an addition to the principal. So that's why when you come out, even if you took out $50,000, you probably owe 70 and some change, because you have the interest that has been compounding on the loan. And so this is just how it works. But to give a whole group of people just a wipeout at the expense of every single wiping person, you cannot be a Democrat. You cannot be a Democrat and be for unions. You cannot be a Democrat and be for working people. You cannot be a Democrat and go into people's pockets and take out money so people who already had a guarantee can just get off with Wyatt. I mean, even if you wiped out every student loan borrower, Joe Biden, there is no guarantee anyone's going to vote for you. I actually keep continuing to tell everybody, and on that matter, Cornell West, congratulations on moving over to the Green Party. It's just one more minority in this country who knows that the Democrats have failed everybody. And so the student loan issue is ridiculous. Taking money from working people to pay for other people's loans in good times is ridiculous, and it's not a policy that should move forward. Now, I want to just quickly talk about the cocaine in the White House, because everybody, I would think 95%, maybe, okay, there's going to be some people that have a difficult understanding of this, but 95% of black, brown, and minorities in the United States of America have an interaction with criminal justice. It just is what it is. You know, cops will pull a person out of the police car and they will bring in the most sophisticated technology to find a hair gram of cocaine or heroin or some illegal drug to lock somebody up for 30 years. So this idea that nobody in the White House knows where cocaine came from, this isn't right. This isn't right. It's one more bad example of how there's two criminal justice systems in this country. One for affluent and the other one for everybody like us who are poor. And it's time to go forward with a different system that treats everybody the same way. If you murder somebody, you should go to jail. If you steal from somebody, you should recompense them and maybe go to jail. And if you bring cocaine into the White House, you should be identified and kicked out of the White House so it doesn't happen again. But this is not what happens when you have a president who's worried about everything else, but he's not worried about you. Please, my name is Robert C. Ayala, and I'm running for the Democratic nomination to challenge Joe Biden and anybody else telling you how to live, what to ingest, what medical care to receive, or how to look. This nonsense has to stop. And if we look at the policies that I'm putting forward, which are very simple, 3 or 4, my policies put forward a plan that gives you back your money and lets the government move forward in the fashion that they want to. Let them go and do it on their dime. Let them go and do it with their money. But it's time for us to stand up and return the people's government back to the people. I hope you join my campaign. Thank you for your time. And maybe sometime in the near future, the White House will explain how a controlled substance made it into the White House. Have a good day, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your summer.